Have you ever gotten lost in long, complex formulas? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use table references to simplify and streamline your Google Sheets. So to start out with, let's go ahead and create the table and show you how to do that in case you have not already created it. And so if you just click and drag on these column headers where all the letters are, and then that works whether you just have the headers or if you already have the data as well. And then come up to format and convert to table. And then you can see it automatically populates those there. And so then you can name this table, which is important. Now, one thing to note is, for example, I have here 2024 sales. You can't start out with a number. They'll give you an error there. So if you do want to include something like sales there, you'll have to either add a space or an underscore, or something like that to get that sales in there. But we could just call it sales if that's the only sales tab in the sheet. And so once we have this in here, I want to show you how these table references work. And then we're going to show you how to use them in formulas over here in some example scenarios. So let's start over here. And so if we just type equals and then start typing our table name, we're going to see different options. And so if you do this in the same tab, you'll see it highlighted. And so you can see if we just do sales, it highlights just the data. But if you do all, it includes the headers. And then within that, then you can pick a single column. And we do that by doing the table name and then this bracket and then the column name. And so you can include spaces and stuff like that in that. So let's show you how to do this in a formula. So for example, here, this is showing nothing. And the reason why is giving us a little bit of a hint there. Let me go ahead and just do array formula here. And so that's what you need to do to actually bring in multiple cells. And so you can see this looks like our data over here. Obviously it's not in a table, but if we want to include those headers, so we can just come up here and then look for all. And again, inside that array formula, now it's going to pull that all in. And so then we can just pick a column as well. So we could do amount. And so one thing, if you try to change it, you're not seeing any hints here. And so if you remove that end bracket, then you'll see those suggestions again, and then you can bring it in just like that. So that's how you can reference the different columns or the data within that. And so let's go ahead and look at how it works within some other formulas. So for example, if we're on a different tab, it can be a little challenging when you open something like a filter, and then you have to go back and forth and figure out which columns you want to reference for your filter. But in this case, it's actually much easier. So again, if we know what our table name is, we can filter like that. And I don't need the header in this case. And then I can just simply start typing and pick the ones that I need. So for example, if I'm looking at sales rep equals to my dropdowns for sales rep, and then sales again, and then I'm doing sector equals this sector, hit enter. And just as easy as that, I have this populate just like that. Now in query, we can use the table reference as well, but within the query syntax, it doesn't really help us out. And so basically the only simplification there is just that data reference. Now next, let's look at another scenario using some ifs. And so here we have a quite complicated scenario. We got our reps here, our sectors, and we also got a start and end date. And so if we're doing this normally, we'd either be tabbing back and forth or typing this long name to get our results. So we're pulling in stuff like this, right? But with these name ranges, we can simply type in our sum ifs. We can select our column that we want to sum here. And then we can just go through and pick those. We don't have to go back and forth because it makes it a little easier when we can just pull those names right here. Instead of remembering, oh, this is column C, we can just see it right there. And then we can just click on that one, and then we can go to the next one. So sales, let's do sector, and we can pick that one. And then we can do our start date there. And this one would be greater than or equals to our start date. Then we can repeat it for our end date. And I accidentally tabbed out of there, but it's easy enough to jump back in. So we'll do sales date again, And then this one will be less than or equals to our K6. So if you're familiar with dragging these around, you will recognize I need to do a little bit here before I do this. So these we don't have to do anything on because these are fixed to that column. So the only thing we have to fix is these before we drag them around. So this J8, for example, Daniel, we want to lock that 8 to make sure that doesn't change as we drag down. And then our sector, we'll just do it before the I. And then on these, we'll do both because they're not moving. And so once we do that, we can hit enter and then we can autofill. So the autofill will just fill down. And so you could do either one. You could do the autofill and then drag it across, or you can drag it across manually and then drag it down just like that. And now we can see all those results across the different reps with just a few simple clicks. And then as we wrap up this video, let me know if you've been using Google Tables in the comments and whether they've made your life easier or more difficult. And then check out our other videos for more ways to make your life easier in Google Sheets. So thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day.